For our project, we coded all of the one-page ads in Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Popular Mechanics, and Time. We coded a total of 1,008 ads. Here are some of our findings.
The results in terms of warm and cool colors show that 88% of the advertisements observed across all magazines include warm colors, which are reds, yellows, and oranges. Cosmopolitan had the highest percentage of ads with warm colors, with 98% of ads observed. Time magazine, however, had the lowest percentage of ads, 80% of warm colors. Cool colors were also observed in each advertisement alongside warm colors. Cool colors include greens, blues, and purples, as shown on a color wheel. This percentage of advertisements with cool colors, 80%, was slightly lower than the percentage of ads with warm colors, 88%. An interesting statistic from this observation was the almost even split of magazines without cool colors in Vogue magazine, which was 45%. Most had an almost even split of warm and cool colors, hypothesized to be due to design choices and a desire to appeal across a visible color spectrum, stimulating the viewer. Social media action requests also appear more in Cosmopolitan than any of the other three magazines, although instances of social media occurring were very low in general. Even though 87% of the advertisements didn't include them, Cosmopolitan had the most ads with social media requests at 22%. This could also be due to it being aimed at a younger audience. However, the ads that were coded were from 2012, and we would expect to see a higher yield of advertisements with social media requests in 2014, given the use of iPads and other devices with easy social media connections wasn't as prominent.
We coded for the good type of the products in each ad. Each product was coded as either a consumer good, durable good, or other. Consumer goods are products that will expire and can only be used for a limited amount of time. Makeup and other cosmetic items are examples of consumer goods. Durable goods are products that last 5 years or more. Consumer goods made up about 43% of the ads, with durable goods and other goods making up the rest. We also coded for the product resource makeup of each ad. These ads were coded as either raw, manufactured, service, or other. Manufactured products are man-made, while raw products are natural. We found that manufactured products occurred the most, making up 79% of the ads. Service came in second and made up 15% of the ads.
Another finding we had was that Cialdini's 6 principles of influence were not as relevant as we thought they'd be. Out of 1,008 ads, only 5.35% of them contained one or more of his principles. The most prominent ones were commitment, liking, and reciprocity. And commitment is the idea that people want to stay consistent with their own personal belief system. Liking uses the power of celebrities or people that are admired by others to sell products. And reciprocity is the idea that if you give something to the people, they'll give something back. The ones that were less prominent were scarcity, which is saying that people will buy something if there's a short supply. Authority, which uses the influence of professionals or doctors to convince people of legitimacy. And social proof, which is the power of peer pressure. Our finding doesn't necessarily mean that Cialdini's principles are not relevant. It just means that advertising seems to be going a different route. It doesn't seem like they're so much trying to convince viewers to buy a product. They're using a lot of emotional appeal, such as humor and sex appeal, to sell their products.
We had hypothesized that women would be the target of most advertisements, so we chose 2 magazines that were oriented toward women in general, Vogue and Cosmopolitan. In testing for different types of gender in each advertisement, we discovered that women are in most ads, even if the ad is targeted at men. Although women were in a large portion of advertisements in the previously mentioned magazines, there was still a relatively even proportion of men and women in advertisements in the 2 other studied magazines, Popular Mechanics and Time. Popular Mechanics, a magazine targeted for technology and engineering enthusiasts, featured only males in 18.9% of their advertisements, compared to only females with 5.1%. Time featured only males in 13.9% of their advertisements and only women in 14.3% of their advertisements. Through our research, we discovered that Time was a more gender-neutral publication than the others that we observed. Through our research, we also discovered that both genders were heavily involved in the romance appeal. This appeal is used primarily in fashion advertisements to evoke a sense of attraction and affluence toward the display of a particular product or service.
Conclusively, we found that women are used to sell products more so than men. Manufactured goods are mostly the advertised goods in magazines, and they usually have a short shelf life. Also, While Cialdini is one of the fathers of persuasion, new concepts and ideas about persuasion are being established, at least in print magazines.